Students from the University of Tirana and a university in Elbasan protested today against the decision by the Ministry of Education to introduce a fee for failing to pass an exam. In just 9 months, the state budget has suffered economic damage to the value of €957 million, with the high state control audits revealing that PPPs alone have had a negative effect of €16.8 million. On the International Day of Volunteering, children and citizens joined the initiative from the municipality of Tirana by donating toys and clothing to be distributed to the social centres, kindergartens and schools. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Wednesday the 5th of December 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. Students from the University of Tirana and the Polytechnic University are protesting in front of the Ministry of Education to request a retraction of a newly implemented fee for failing to pass a university exam. The protest started at 9:30 at the university, from where they marched towards the Ministry of Education, calling on the Minister of Education, Lindita Nicola, to retract the decision over a megaphone. They have thrown eggs in the direction of the ministry, and the students have also blocked the road toward the Ministry of Education. First, they removed the facilities to pay our tuition fees by instalments. Now they add this 650 lek fee for every exam, shouted one student. According to them, the fees are too high and the students cannot afford to pay. At one point, ministry representatives, led by the Deputy Minister of Education, Besa Shahini, came out and asked some students to enter the ministry and prepare a list of their demands in writing. However, this was rejected by the students, who demanded the minister come outside and talk to them. "They ask us what they already know they can do better," retorted a student. Students of University Alexander Giovanni have also boycotted lessons today in an expression of opposition to the 650 lek fee set by the Ministry of Education. Students say the protests will continue until the decision is reversed. Students are gathering signatures to form a petition requiring 50,000 names to be listed. A professor in the Faculty of Law, Ermir Dobjani, was by the side of students at the protest being held in front of the Ministry of Education. Speaking over the megaphone, Dobjani, who held the post as Albania's first ombudsman from the year 2000 to the year 2010, urged students to continue their protest and even to join forces with the residents of Astir, whose dwellings are being demolished as part of the New Ring Road project. At the head of the Ministry of Education is a criminal, not a minister. She remains in her position because she aligns with Edi Rama's criminal policy. They know no logic, only violence. You must join the protests of those whose residents are being stolen, or else you will receive no solution, concluded Dobjani. Aura News has published the draft opinion of the Venice Commission on vetting in politics. This opinion was delivered to the political parties, including both the majority and the opposition. Among other things, the conclusion of the Venice Commission stated that the proposed draft lacks clarity. It is not clear which institution will preside over the vetting of public officials and candidates for the elections, whether it will be done by a judicial or independent authority. It is also unclear whether disqualification will be for a fixed period or permanent. These uncertainties make it impossible for the Venice Commission to judge whether this proposal can be considered an appropriate solution to what is definitely a real problem in Albania, stated the opinion. The economic damage caused to the state budget during January-September 2018 is estimated to be €957.3 million. Data has been published by the High State Control after audits were conducted in some of the most important institutions across the country. Public-private partnership concessions, as well as the renting and sale of public property sector, had the highest level of financial damage, estimated at 2.1 billion lek. Following in the ranks is customs, with damage of around 1 billion lek, then procurements, taxes and operating expenses. The offering PPP tenders have caused many debates due to their financial impact. Financial institutions have appealed for contracts to be transparent and for the calculation of expenditures to be correctly verified. According to the High State Control, the biggest violations have been found in the financial discipline, which is related to expenses realised without efficiency. From the audits, it has been determined that there were many problems, violations and irregularities in terms of expenses. The High State Control has also found abuses and unlawful payments to the value of 62 billion lek, with salary and bonuses making up 264 million lek, procurement procedures 3.5 billion lek and operating expenses 4.7 lek. For these violations, the High State Control has recommended 66 proposals for legal changes in the internal regulatory framework of institutions aimed at strengthening internal control systems and increasing the effectiveness of the use of public funds. In some cases, evidence has been uncovered of penal offences, with 34 referrals having been made to the prosecution. In total, the High State Control has conducted 102 audits over the past 9 months. Giant investors in tourism will go through the sieve, and those who have been convicted of earlier crimes will not be able to benefit from fiscal facilities or public funds. This limitation in the law comes several months after it was decided that all investors who build 4- to 5-star hotels will benefit from fiscal facilities. A few months ago, the Parliament changed the law on tourism by excluding certain obligations and lowering taxes for those who invest in hotels with over 4 stars. A few months later, this law was returned to the Assembly with the aim of allowing all investors to go through a sieve to ensure all those who have been convicted of serious crimes are excluded from receiving such benefits. The draft, approved by the Production Commission, did not deprive businessmen who had been previously convicted of serious crimes from investing in tourism, but ensures that they are excluded from receiving either fiscal benefits or public funding. December is considered as the month of solidarity for all those who want to donate clothes or toys to children in need. The initiative from the Tirana municipality has already become a tradition, with people in need even being catered to with warm meals. Tirana really has 1 million problems, but there are also 1 million opportunities to show solidarity and to be collaborative and helpful. My colleagues have placed bins throughout Tirana so that those families that have toys they no longer use can recycle them. If someone has 5 toys, he can give away 2. Whether you have toys or clothes to put in these yellow bins set up by the municipality, we will clean them, repair them, and then provide them for use for a family in need, such as those in rural areas of Tirana, in our social institutions, children's homes, emergency centres, or in the social housing in Shkoza, explained Erion Veliai. We at least want these children this December not to feel unequal, said Veliai. Mayor Veliai addressed this invitation to all citizens who want to help the people in need. Meanwhile, in the public spaces and in the social centres administered by the municipality of Tirana, there will be points where all the needy groups can consume a warm meal. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.